Welcome to my bold and beautiful today's show channel. I hope today fantastic for everyone. Please hit the subscribes button and give this video thumbs up. Brooke's efforts backfire while Ridge connects with Carter. The bold and the beautiful document that Brooke Logan thought that destiny would reignite at the Forrester Creations fashion show. But Taylor Hayes closed the door. Presenting Taylor as a klutz was a plot technique the audience easily recognized. Devoted fans knew that Taylor's bumpiness backstage at the fashion show implied something significant was likely coming, and it did. Seeing Taylor shut the door to the room where FC's exclusive creations are stored created the next setting in this old-school rivalry. Brooke knew the door had an automatic lock, and she was stuck with her nemesis in yet another juicy conflict scene. Eric Forrester put his finger on the scale. Taylor will be hurt if she learns that Eric Forrester, John McCook, put his finger on the scale of soapy justice. His recent display of Brooke's magnificent gown, which she wore during one of FC's classic fashion shows back in the daytime day, was intended to stir Ridge Forrester's emotions. Eric and Brooke noticed that Ridge's eyes were fixed on the magnificent digital image. But that was only part of Eric's plan. He secretly asked Brooke to be his showstopper, with a similar resplendent gown ready to be worn on the runway. Brooke's bedroom became such a cause célèbre that following Brooke as the showstopper is reasonable. But Eric hoped to mine that retro gold and shake Ridge out of an assumed stupor. Taylor Hayes is secure for the moment. All soap operas need to change the pace. Such was the case when Steffy Forrester Finnegan Liam Spencer and Hope Logan went round and round for years. The above-referenced triangle eventually reached its point of usefulness, and a fresh direction was needed. So, John Finnegan was invented to break the cycle. That change has proved productive. It's okay to have Taylor reconcile with Ridge in B&B's history. They were married decades ago, share children, and have been plausibly repaired. A period where Ridge remains devoted to Taylor is digestible and will allow Brooke to re-explore her past, including Nick Marone come June. Ridge Forrester repairs another relationship. Ridge and Carter Walton consider each other more than friends. They see themselves as brothers. Carter's betrayal was a good storyline because it was out of character for him to have made that specific choice. That was also true when Carter became involved with Eric's wife, Quinn Fuller, Rena Sofa. Hearing Ridge mention Carter's name as key to FC's recent expansion success deeply touched St. Victor's alter ego. Ridge also told him that he was right to want to broaden the reach of the family's fabled fashion house. Carter and Ridge are likely reconciled for the long term. Brooke will keep pushing to ensure that Taylor is a short-term distraction for Ridge, whom she can't see as anything other than her destiny. Liam's big move, Katie versus Daphne, Zenday's moral dilemma. The bold and the beautiful are here. Next week, fans can expect Liam Spencer to have a new living arrangement. Katie Logan spies on Daphne Rose. That leads to a fiery confrontation, but Zendaya Forrester Dominguez could also come under fire. Keep reading and let's discuss what's coming up in the CBS soap opera. Liam Spencer's big move. Next week, expect Liam to have a new living arrangement, which makes Hope Logan suspicious. Liam clearly still doesn't want anyone to know about his deadly diagnosis. As he gets weaker and weaker, what is he going to tell his loved ones, especially the kids? In any case, Liam is in serious denial but will have a new living arrangement. It seems that Liam might stay at Steffy Forrester Finnegan's, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, place. I seem to recall Paris Buckingham stayed in a guest house on the Cliff House's property. Steffy would feel better having Liam close by, and John Finnegan is a doctor and could deal with any emergencies. However, what does Liam say to Hope when she finally sees him again? Hope Logan encouraged. Fans will also see Carter Walton beg Hope for another chance. Hope seems undecided and is still heartbroken. Hope has been thinking about Liam a lot lately, but he was just told he's dying. Despite his being in denial, he might still not want Hope to get hurt. So, maybe that's why Liam encourages Hope to give Carter a second chance. Katie Logan attacks. The bold and the beautiful reveal that Katie will end up spying on Daphne and Carter. Katie sees the nose plant a kiss on Carter. She must see and hear a lot more because there is a fierce confrontation. Katie blasts Daphne alone, and then asks if she's just there to do Steffy's dirty work. Week of April 28, 2025. Also, Steffy and Taylor Hayes learn the truth behind the Showstopper scheme. Forrester confronts Eric Forrester over his runway stunt. However, Eric will insist that Ridge belongs with Brooke Logan. In a preview clip, Ridge firmly tells his dad that he is committed to Taylor. Furious over Steffy and Daphne's scheme. The Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Carter Walton will be furious over Steffy Forrester and Daphne Rose's scheme. It looks like Katie Logan will expose the truth after eavesdropping, so let's talk about all the drama ahead. The week of April 28th to May 2nd will bring some big moments for Katie, who'll go into protective mode when it comes to Carter. Katie is Carter's former flame and still cares about him, so she'll view Daphne as trouble and will want her to just go away. Instead, Daphne will plant another kiss on Carter and keep trying to convince him to put Hope Logan in the rearview mirror. Katie will spy Daphne stealing a smooch from Carter, so she definitely won't be happy about that. Next on B&B, Katie will overhear something that makes her even more convinced Daphne needs to head back to Paris. It turns out Katie will be listening nearby while Daphne and Zende Forrester Dominguez think they're having a private discussion. Katie will learn that Daphne lied to Carter all along and that she came to town at Steffy Forrester's request. Steffy wanted Daphne to insert herself at Forrester Creations, convince Carter to surrender power and split him up from Hope as well. Daphne's whole motivation for coming to Los Angeles was to play dirty for Steffy. Once Katie eavesdrops on this conversation that isn't meant for her ears, she'll corner Daphne alone. Daphne will be confronted by Katie and forced to admit that she has been influencing Carter on Steffy's orders. Daphne will probably argue that now that the Forresters are back on the throne, everything is over. Although Daphne will defend her authentic feelings for Carter, Katie won't be willing to stay silent about Daphne's original agenda. Since Daphne keeps acting like Hope is such a manipulator, Katie may think she's a hypocrite who deserves to go down for what she did. Daphne manipulated Carter more than Hope ever did, so Katie will think it's time for him to find out. At some point, it looks like Katie will indeed expose Daphne and Steffy's scheme to Carter, who's bound to be livid. After this revelation, Carter will undoubtedly feel betrayed and may not want anything to do with Daphne. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Katie will make some predictions regarding Daphne's return to Paris, a deep dive into The Bold and the Beautiful drama. Brooke's efforts backfire while Ridge connects with Carter. The latest twists in The Bold and the Beautiful have once again pitted destiny against deception, with Brooke Logan's carefully laid plans crumbling while Ridge Forrester mends bridges with Carter Walton. Brooke and Ridge were supposed to rekindle their romance at the Forrester Creations fashion show when fate intervened. However, Taylor Hayes had other plans, shutting the door, both literally and figuratively, on Brooke's hopes. The symbolism was obvious. Taylor's two haphazard collisions backstage were more than just accidents, they were narrative breadcrumbs that led to a crucial moment. The stage was set for yet another explosive confrontation between these longtime rivals when she locked Brooke in FC's exclusive storage room. Eric Forrester, ever the puppeteer, played a crucial role in tipping the scales of romantic tension. His decision to showcase a vintage image of Brooke in one of FC's most iconic gowns was no accident. It was a deliberate ploy to stir Ridge's emotions. The longing in Ridge's eyes as he gazed at the digital display did not go unnoticed by Eric or Brooke. But Eric's machinations didn't stop there. In a secret move, he enlisted Brooke as the showstopper, outfitting her in a resplendent gown reminiscent of her past glory. This was a calculated effort to shake Ridge out of his emotional complacency, not just a nostalgic gesture. Brooke's bedroom has long been a focal point of scandal and desire, making her grand return to the runway a logical yet provocative choice. Eric's goal was clear: mine the past to reshape the future. For now, Taylor Hayes remains secure in her relationship with Ridge, a dynamic that offers a refreshing shift from the show's usual cyclical romances. B&B has repeatedly demonstrated that soap operas thrive on change. The endless tug-of-war between Steffy, Liam, and Hope eventually exhausted its narrative potential, paving the way for Finn's introduction, a move that revitalized the storyline. Similarly, Taylor and Ridge's reunion is a plausible development, rooted in their shared history, children, and decades of intertwined lives. Brooke can revisit her own past and possibly rekindle old love in June by allowing Ridge to remain devoted to Taylor, even for a short time. Meanwhile, Ridge has been quietly repairing another crucial relationship, his bond with Carter Walton. Because the two men consider each other to be brothers, Carter's previous betrayals are even more heartbreaking. Out-of-character choices like his affair with Brooke and later with Quinn Fuller fueled compelling drama. However, Ridge's recent acknowledgement of Carter's contributions to Forrester Creations' expansion was a touching moment of reconciliation. By affirming Carter's vision for the company, Ridge not only mended fences but also reinforced their brotherly connection. While Brooke continues to push for Taylor's exit from Ridge's life, Carter's loyalty and Ridge's gratitude suggest this reconciliation is here to stay. Liam's desperation, Katie's fury, and Zenday's moral crossroads. The drama extends beyond Brooke and Ridge, with Liam Spencer's life taking a dark turn. His mysterious new living arrangement has raised eyebrows, particularly Hope's. Still concealing his terminal diagnosis, Liam grows weaker by the day, yet remains in denial. Speculation suggests he may relocate to Steffy's guest house, where Finn, a doctor, could monitor his condition. But for how long will Liam be able to conceal the truth from Hope and his children? Fans are left to wonder whether his final days will be spent in isolation or if a last-minute confession will bring closure, as his insistence on secrecy only serves to exacerbate the tragedy. Hope Logan, meanwhile, finds herself at an emotional crossroads. Carter's heartfelt plea for another chance leaves her torn between lingering love for Liam and the possibility of a new beginning. Ironically, Liam, despite his own impending mortality, may encourage Hope to move on with Carter, sacrificing his own happiness to spare her further pain. Katie Logan, ever the protector, takes center stage in another brewing storm. Katie's suspicions escalate into a full-blown argument after she spots Carter and Daphne Rose kissing in a compromising position. Eavesdropping reveals Daphne's true agenda. She was summoned by Steffy to manipulate Carter, undermine Hope, and secure Forrester power. When Katie exposes Daphne's deception and labels her a pawn in Steffy's schemes, her fury explodes. The fallout promises to be explosive, with Carter likely feeling betrayed by both Daphne and Steffy. Zenday Forrester Dominguez, caught in the crossfire, faces a moral dilemma. His involvement in Daphne's scheming could cost him dearly, especially if Katie's revelations force him to choose between loyalty and integrity. The week ahead, explosive confrontations and shocking revelations. The week of April 28, 2025, promises seismic shifts. Steffy and Taylor will uncover Eric's Showstopper stunt, leading to a heated clash between Ridge and his father. Eric's insistence that Ridge belongs with Brooke will fall on deaf ears, as Ridge reaffirms his commitment to Taylor. Carter's rage over Steffy and Daphne's manipulation will escalate in the meantime, putting his relationship with Hope in jeopardy. As alliances fracture and secrets unravel, The Bold and the Beautiful proves once again that in the world of high fashion and higher stakes, love and betrayal are always in season. Brooke's efforts may have backfired, but with Ridge and Carter's bond stronger than ever, the battle for destiny is far from over. Brooke Logan, forever chasing destiny, believed that the Forrester Creations fashion show would serve as the dramatic stage for reigniting the eternal flame she shares with Ridge Forrester. But in a delicious twist of fate, Taylor Hayes yet again closed the metaphorical and literal door on Brooke's ambitions. It wasn't mere coincidence, of course. Soap fans instantly picked up on the telltale signs, the classic backstage bumpiness Taylor endured before the pivotal scene unfolded. When Taylor clumsily locked the door to the storage room containing FC's most exclusive designs, she unknowingly trapped herself and Brooke, reigniting one of daytime's most enduring rivalries in a fashion almost too perfect to believe. The klutz trope is beloved precisely because it signals change. As the automatic lock clicked into place, the tension between Brooke and Taylor became a palpable third character in the room, their decades of jealousy, betrayal, and heartbreak swirling around them like the expensive fabrics hanging on racks. Meanwhile, behind the runway's glitz and glamour, Eric Forrester had masterfully pulled invisible strings, staging the evening's drama not just on the catwalk but in the hearts of his family. Eric purposely displayed a stunning digital image of Brooke in one of her most iconic gowns from the brand's heyday, wishing for a golden age of Brooke's bedroom fame. His keen eyes noted Ridge's lingering gaze, which spoke volumes. More than nostalgia, Eric hoped to revive Ridge's passion, both professional and personal, setting the stage for Brooke to once again become his muse and, by extension, his partner in life. His not-so-secret weapon? Inviting Brooke to be the showstopper of the evening, adorned in a modernized version of that unforgettable ensemble, aiming to shake Ridge out of what Eric perceived as a misguided commitment to Taylor. Yet despite Eric's careful orchestration, Destiny, it seemed, had other plans. Taylor Hayes, contrary to her accidental bumbling, stood secure for the moment, bolstered by Ridge's devotion and a narrative arc that needed the pendulum to swing away from Brooke's predictable wins. Much like the endlessly recycled Hope-Liam-Steffy triangle that had once exhausted even the most patient fans, the Ridge-Brooke-Taylor saga demanded fresh terrain. When Steffy and Hope's battles grew stale, the writers had crafted John Finnegan as the ultimate game-changer, a man so devoted to Steffy that he rewrote the rules entirely. Similarly, in the present, the show embraced a rare pause in Brooke's perpetual triumph, allowing Ridge and Taylor to reconnect authentically. Their shared history, marriages, children, a lifetime of entanglements, made this reconciliation believable, digestible even, offering viewers a temporary ceasefire in the war for Ridge's heart. Brooke, ever the fighter, could not and would not see this as anything but a detour, a wrong turn that Destiny would soon correct, but in the meantime, the door was closed, literally and figuratively. And in a tantalizing tease of what's to come, whispers began to circulate that Brooke's journey might lead her not back to Ridge immediately, but toward revisiting past flames, particularly the ruggedly handsome Nick Marone come June, setting up yet another seismic shift in the character landscape. In the shadows of these familial earthquakes, Carter Walton found himself yet again caught between loyalty, ambition, and the treacherous waters of romance. Furious upon discovering Steffy and Daphne's duplicity, Carter confronted the women FW had dared to manipulate him, demanding honesty in a world where it was increasingly scarce. For Carter, this betrayal was a bitter pill, reopening wounds he had only just begun to heal. And through it all, Katie remained a fierce advocate, determined to protect Carter from further harm even as she grappled with her own lingering feelings for him. The week also promised to shine a spotlight on lesser-known schemes and moral dilemmas, with Zende Forrester Dominguez facing a crossroads of loyalty versus ambition. Zende's own secrets threatened to erupt, creating ripple effects that would touch nearly every corner of Forrester creations, proving once again that in the bold and the beautiful, no secret stays buried for long, and no relationship, however sturdy, is truly safe from the tremors of betrayal, ambition, and heartache. As the characters danced their intricate, painful ballet across boardrooms and bedrooms alike, one truth became unmistakably clear: destiny, though a powerful force, is never static. It moves, bends, and sometimes breaks, only to be forged again. Brooke, Ridge, Taylor, Liam, Hope, Carter, Katie, and all the rest were merely dancers on Destiny's stage, and the music, sweet, savage, and achingly beautiful, played on.